So this was a crazy incident, man, that you guys might have already heard about, but this was like one of the fastest robbery sprees I've ever seen. About one robbery every 3 minutes, and this was not all in the same location. They were going to different spots, and this was not the only robbery spree that's been like this. Over the last week, we've had like these three or four, maybe even more than that, incidents where people are just doing like these rapid fire robberies. So the first one, a group of armed robbers committed at least 10 holdups in 30 minutes on the west and northwest side. This was actually not too far from me. If you guys have seen a lot of my videos, I'm walking around an area that's a neighborhood called Hermosa. Hermosa is like, it's a little bit to the west of Logan Square. You're talking about over by like Calvin Park High School, over by like the Walmart. There's like a string of restaurants and everything. If you go west down Diversey, like past Kimball to the west, you're into this Hermosa neighborhood. And Hermosa, it's got gangs, like a lot of Latino gangs and stuff. But I wouldn't say it's one of the worst neighborhoods in this. I wouldn't put it on par with like a Little Village or a Back of the Yards as far as like Latino gang neighborhoods go. It's usually pretty. It's livable. Like you can live in Hermosa. You know, it's not one of those areas where like everybody has to gangbang. But Hermosa too, as far as the like the racial diversity of it, like I say, it's mostly Latinos, but there are whites and blacks there. Like I shop at that Walmart over on Diversey all the time, and there's blacks that I think are, some of them might be coming from the west side, because I've been on the bus seeing some of them going back to like the west side, a little bit south of that. But some of them live over there, because we had black students at Calvin Park and a few white students too. So, anyways, man, this group of robbers was doing this over there. And they said at least one of the terrifying robbers was caught on video. And I'm not going to play the video because it gets my videos a strike. But there was a community alert issued Sunday evening, and CBD said that 4 men committed all the crimes. They were wearing ski masks and black hoodies. They bolted from one victim to the next in a gray Hyundai Elantra. So watch out for that car, the gray Hyundai Elantra. They said one of them said they robbed my dad at gunpoint and he was severely assaulted. Police confirmed the robbers physically attacked the 58-year-old man. The Elantra rolls up and stops next to the victim's white work van over by 4300 West Dickens at around 7:38 a.m., which is not a typical time when a lot of bullcrap is going on. Most of the guys who are out here in the streets are still asleep at that time. But 3 men jump out with guns extended, aimed right at the victim, they said, and they open his driver's door, take him off camera, and beat him. After getting his property, they returned to the Elantra and sped away. The crew robbed at least 3 more victims in the next 12 minutes. So these guys are going super fast, man. So here's all the robberies they did. CBD said the same group committed similar robberies in the following locations, targeting victims who were either on the sidewalk or parked vehicles. Okay, so the 3900 block of West North Avenue in Humboldt Park at around 7:20 a.m. Then 10 minutes later, the 3900 block of West Lemoyne in Humboldt Park at 7:30 a.m. Then the 1800 block of North Kedvale in Hermosa at 7:32 a.m. So literally just 2 minutes. I mean, how they even drove from the 3900 block of West Lemoyne to the 1800 block of North Kedvale that fast. Like 2 minutes, bro. Then the 4100 block of West Wabansia in Hermosa at 7:34 a.m., so 2 minutes after that. So they got from 1800 North Kedvale to 4100 West Wabansia, okay, in 2 minutes. Then 1 minute after this, okay, the 4400 block of West Palmer. So they went from 4100 West Wabansia to 4400 West Palmer in literally 60 seconds, okay, and they robbed somebody else there. Then 2 minutes after that, they robbed somebody else, I think at that same spot. And then the 4300 block of West Dickens in Hermosa at 7:38. So 60 seconds after that. Like how these guys, it was like they were warping from one spot to the next. I mean, I can't believe anybody could like even drive this fast. Then the 2200 block of North Kenneth in Hermosa at 7:40 a.m. So 4300 West Dickens to 2200 North Kenneth in 2 minutes. Okay, 120 seconds they made it that fast and did another run. And by the way, this is not just the driving. Like to even drive that fast to that spot is incredible. But then to actually hop out and do the robbery. So in other words, the driving time was even less than that. Then the 1700 block of North Pulaski in Hermosa, 60 seconds after that. So from 2200 North Kenneth to 1700 North Pulaski in less than 60 seconds, because they did the robbery all within that time frame. Then Okay, now this is 9 minutes later. The 4100 block of West Palmer in Hermosa at 7:50 a.m. So they did all these robberies, man, like 60 seconds, 2 minutes, one after the next. I mean, this was like, I couldn't believe it when I saw this. The police said the robbers are black males between the ages of 18 and 25. Look out for that gray Hyundai Elantra. To my knowledge, they have not been caught yet, but I mean, that was just like insane, man. That was like the fastest robbery spree that I've ever seen in my entire life. And they got it on video. So, I mean, they know that these times are pretty accurate. Now, the second spree was in Logan Square, which is actually not too far from Hermosa. It's just like to the east of that. This is Mayor Lightfoot's neighborhood, man. There were 3 armed robberies in 20 minutes. So, I mean, at least, I mean, this one was not as incredible as the last one, but so the holdups began around 4:35 a.m. in the 2400 block of West Cortland, so around Cortland and Western. And that neighborhood is not, like, really, is not bad. Police said 3 men got out of a blue sedan to attack and rob a 56-year-old man. This is like, actually, this is a neighborhood that's been, like, heavily gentrified lately. They took his backpack and phone and fled. The victim walked to a bus stop near the Western Blue Line, where he asked somebody to call for help. EMS took him to St. Mary's Hospital for treatment for a minor laceration. Then a 63-year-old man was robbed at gunpoint of his phone and wallet by 3 men over by Pulaski and Fullerton at around 4:50 a.m. And the victim was working on a scooter when the group confronted him, and the crew escaped in a red sedan. About 5 minutes after that, the third victim was robbed over by, this is like the 2200 block of North California, so like a couple blocks, like between Fullerton and Armitage on California. And that actually is right by the police station. Police said the 39-year-old woman was walking near the California Blue Line when a blue sedan pulled up and 2 offenders got out. And they had firearms. They took her valuables, then escaped in the car. The robbers were described as slender black males in their mid to late teens who wore hoodies and masks. So I don't know if this is the same crew, but all 3 robberies occurred in CPD's 14th district. And robbery reports are up 21%, according to CWB Chicago, compared to the same point last year. The district's robbery rate is 73% higher than 2021, 127% higher than in 2020, and 78% higher above the 2019 levels, according to the police department's latest stats. And they said that area has been hit repeatedly with nighttime armed robbery sprees like the one that unfolded on Thursday morning. So the Northwest side is really getting slammed with the robbery sprees, man. There was another one that I won't report on this video, but that area around there, I mean, people are getting robbed like left and right. And whether the robbers live in the neighborhood, I don't know, but the speed with which these guys are doing this is just insane. They might not be in the same car, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's the same crew or whatever, but if this happens to you, like I said, I mean, listen, a lot of people got very upset in the comment section, man, but I think you're better just giving up the stuff. You notice all these people are still alive. They got out with guns, okay? They pointed the guns at the people, but the people are still alive. They have their life. All that stuff is replaceable. You know, your life is not replaceable, and there's multiple offenders in all these incidents with, you know, they're all armed. So, you know, you don't want to get into it with like 3-4 guys with guns. I mean, you just don't. Your odds are always better giving up the stuff. Statistically, that is true. Okay, so I mean, you can be a tough guy if you want and let your pride get you killed, but I mean, it's like you only get one life. You know, you can get as many phones as long as you've got a life, you can make $1, but all the money in that world cannot make a life. So it's not worth it, and your pride definitely is not worth it, man. Pride comes before a fall. So usually when I see guys giving up the stuff, they're still alive, man. So hopefully they'll catch these guys soon, though, man, because what they are doing is very dangerous. And hopefully everybody in that neighborhood will be vigilant. Your boy Wednesday Report. I'm out.